If you did not see last week's, I did Mac Miller's, not his first record, but his first essential record to most fans called K.I.D.S. It was the first time I ever listened to Mac Miller in any capacity, and I loved it. Today we are going to be going with his next project from a year later. This is Best Day Ever. Once again, we are rocking with the Urban Outfitters exclusive. You know, they tried to ban me once, but they can't keep me out forever. And yeah, I haven't even looked at what the variant looks like, but I'm sure it's going to be cool. It's a lot of tracks. And again, very few features. We got 2 features on the entire record. That's so impressive. So many hip hop artists rely on features to flesh out their album, and usually that's a symptom of not feeling confident that you have strong enough material to fill up a full album. It is pretty. Under light, it's actually pretty nice. I like that kind of almost color in color. So we're going to get started with the first track, which is called Best Day Ever, the titular track of the album. And I hope you all enjoy, and I hope I enjoy. Very pretty opening.
Travel back in time, I'm in a vortex, try and make it work out, think I need more reps. Used to take a bus, now the boy board jets, cause kids got me busting like a fucking hornet. Soon to be happy, on me laughing like a child.
Still so uplifting. What a positive human being. So that was the intro track. Off the bat, I will say, very uplifting, very pretty song. Really liked the production on it. It didn't grab me as much as the intro to K.I.D.S. This one in particular felt like it almost would have been a better interlude or maybe even a closing track of an album that had already kind of given you quite a bit up to that point. It was good. It didn't grab me as immediately.
It's about to be big shit popping by the time the shit is dropping. Stopping not an option, I'm addicted, it's a problem. Either throwing down a little handy, can't believe that I don't chase it. Life goes on, days
like
get
the beat's
I'm
building.
Like I came in with my head. You down, you in, or you well, you smile, or you frown. Just get up, get up, get up, get up.
So that was track 2, aptly titled Get Up. A little boring. I thought the beat was, I liked when it kind of kicked in. It kind of had one of those building beats where each part kind of starts a little simple production-wise, and as the verse goes on, it kind of builds into this more sonically interesting beat. But for every moment that was interesting, there was more that was a little kind of just not what I expect from Mac after having heard K.I.D.S. I feel like so far the production on K.I.D.S. just knocks the crap out of the production on this album. I had high expectations and they're not quite met yet. Doesn't mean that was a bad song. It's kind of forgettable. I can't imagine ever being like, I'm going to throw on Mac Miller, Get Up.
Hey, yo, Sap, what's good, bro?
My man's sampling Sufjan, so he immediately has me in. I'm in.
It's me, bitches hating on him cause he started out here locally. You know how much you love it when you get it in abundance. Give a fuck about a budget.
This is what I'm talking about. Give me that indie sample and just go. Yeah, this should have been the intro to the album. This would hit so hard if it just opened with this. So that was the single, and I think for obvious reasons, it was certainly a league above so far what we've heard. Do I think it matches the heights of K.I.D.S? Still no. Even with the Sufjan sample, I do think that the song itself was fairly one note, and I enjoyed the note, but it didn't really surprise or change throughout. I hope for more of that on the record and not as much of Get Up, but I guess we'll discover that together. And every rapper should be sampling Sufjan all the time.
I'ma be so rich that I can buy my mom's a house. Tanning down in K.I.D.S, every class recess. Nah, my pocket's deeper than your V-neck. Hoes up on my dick cause I look like Ryan Seacrest. My people like
the lyrics in this are ridiculous so far. I know I should know that. What is that from?
I was out of your league. You were 27 underneath.
It's on the tip of my tongue and it's driving me crazy. It was a good song. It was better than Get Up. It wasn't as good as Donald Trump, it was a little boring too, though. What I liked about Kids specifically was that it really surprised me song to song. Every song had phases and kind of evolved and twisted throughout for the most part, except for the few songs that I wasn't super hot on. This song really kind of stayed one note, even though, again, I liked the beat. I just don't know if it I was really enthralled. I found myself kind of zoning out a little bit during it. And if anyone knows what doom 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 knows what that is, please drop it in the chat so I don't go crazy. Here we go. This is what I want. Give me that soul.
Says she'd be there forever, no matter what's the weather. She'd always have my back, even when we weren't together. And I took her for granted. I thought I had a plan. It's a different generation. I don't think you'd understand if she fed you in the bed. Shit, you were her baby. So find out what she doing lately.
This is just the chillest beat. All right, a few things to say. So thematically, we're kind of hitting a stride on this record where he had a song where he was like, I'm rich, I'm on my rich shit. And then his next song was like, I can't wait till I'm rich so I can take care of my mom. And then the song after that is like, seriously, I'm going to take care of my mom. So I think this is an interesting and charming run. I think this is kind of hitting that vibe I was hoping the album would have. Very, very soulful, very wholesome, but also very sonically appealing. And I also have to give a shout out to Matthew Donahue because that is what it is. It's Laffy Taffy. Doom, 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 doom. Shake that Laffy Taffy. I don't know if the song that Matt, if you know, is sampling Laffy Taffy. We're going to have to find out later. But let's keep going.
And it's the best day ever.
That was so Kid Cudi of him.
Maybe you could wear my hat.
Ooh.
Just make sure you give it back. Baby, you could wear my hat. If you got something to match. Baby, you could wear my hat. Just twist it to the back.
I wish it exploded there.
Just make sure you give it back.
That's such an interesting production choice. It's almost grating, but it's cool. Again, there were moments that I really enjoyed, like when the beat was fully formed, like when the Megazord of the beat came together, and it was like that one, like it was like 2 lines worth of that beat, and then it goes back into the verse. That was excellent. But the rest of the song, again, it felt a little one note. It felt like it wasn't strong enough to keep me interested the whole way through. Overall, side A, there were a couple highlights, but I was a little disappointed. I gave Kids on first listen an 8, and on listening to more of it over the past week, kind of, especially when I was editing the video, I think it's more like an 8.5. It's like a very, very solid record with very few blemishes. This one, I'm not sure how I'll feel yet.
Hey, go and ride with me, get high with me. You looking fly with me, go and ride with me. Just vibe with me, get high with me. The best in the sky with me, go and ride with me, get high with me, turn eye with me. We just having fun, man. They tell me I'm the shit. I'm like,
yes.
Girls on my dick.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
What's up?
This is what I want from Mac.
Young, rich, and famous, thanks for asking, how are you?
This is like the first anthem on the record.
Money in my pocket, but my eyes on a million. Got these doubters listening surprised when they feel him.
Yeah, he sounds so hungry on this song. Like he's proven himself. This song would have fit in right on Kids anywhere perfectly. This song just like moves, like it has like a groove where it's just like charging forward, and it's keeping me enthralled. Woo! All right, that's what I was looking for the entire time. That song was fantastic. Definitely, like I said, it gave me what I liked out of Kids, but on this record. So we're back. I'm hoping that it keeps up, or at least most of this side has that kind of vibe or energy to it. But yeah, that was great.
Yeah, swag.
Swag.
We party all around the world. We party all around the world. We party all around the world. Bitches of every nationality get up and dance. So let me see your hands, please. We making noise like a stampede. So much smoke up in this bitch you can't breathe.
Everyone in the chat was saying that was a banger. I'm not going to dispute that was a banger. However, I think it was a mistake to put that right after the song before it, because they both had the same kind of message and sonic style, but the song before it was significantly better, I think. So if that came on like side C somewhere or even earlier on side A, I think I would have probably felt differently about it. But there is something to be said about album structure and thinking about how the audience is going to be receiving the music you're putting out in that order with what they've heard leading up to it. I was a little bored, to be honest. It felt like a little too much of one thing with that into that. I will say it also gave me really strong Childish Gambino vibes. I'm talking like camp era Gambino, but camp is significantly better to me than what that song was. So it was good. It wasn't great. Let's see if the next song kind of switches the vibe up, because if it's another song with that energy, it's going to start to lose me a little bit.
Hey, and it's the best day ever. And I switch up my location. They go in without shaving. Although life's a bitch, but fuck it, this the good life. So for no life, I switch.
I like that dreamy Legend of Zelda beat. It sounds like you're in like a fairy fountain. Could have done without the song. It was a little boring. It was okay. It did change the vibe up the way I wanted it to, but the song was a little too sleepy for me.
Everything good right now. Little bit of Molly make the boy bite down. Thinking I can finally figure out my style on the stage. Looking at a big hype crowd. I don't think they know it yet, but I do. And if you fucking with it, then you might do.
Yeah, the hook definitely is very Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon. Another one that kind of bored me. I did like the beat in terms of just like the sonic palette that was used. That song, again, just kind of meandered for me.
I came to rock right now. I'm the best and I came to get down. I've been known to rock a microphone. She got a boyfriend but left him home.
Yeah, I kind of love Mac when he does the throwback stuff.
And then leave. So she came up to me and that's my name.
I think he does it well. I like that song to close out side B. I don't know if it was just because I wasn't in love with the songs prior and it was just like the lesser of evils. It definitely didn't hit the heights of Wake Up or Donald Trump or any of like the kind of bangers on the record that I viewed as bangers. I love that Mac has so many sonic influences. Like I feel like it's really cool that he very obviously listens to old school hip hop, listens to like what was popular in hip hop then, but also sometimes listens to Frou Frou and Sufjan Stevens. Like that's cool. I feel like being well-rounded as a rapper is only going to add to your ability to be interesting when it comes to crafting albums, and I think that he has proven himself in that arena for sure. All right, we are on side C, which I'm excited for because people are saying that the last two tracks are arguably the two best. So very excited to finish this album out. We got 5 more.
I was riding this shotgun, speeding down the highway, listening to music, haven't slept in like 5 days. Today a new day, fresh start. If you didn't make mistakes, you wouldn't get far. Get hard, get high, shit till you try.
I really liked his flow on that song. The beat, not so good. Let's keep going.
When I get old, I'ma be real cool, sitting on the porch with a fresh pair of shoes. If they ain't, it's great, no attention to the hate, nothing changed. Still cutting up, Henny still my drink. I'm still the same old dude now.
This beat is very
like
good.
Everything I do, front page news.
Really like that beat. Yeah, nothing else to say about it.
Get some brand new kicks, couple hundred on the jeans. I've been spending all this money, got me feeling like a G. Hand me down, getting some shit you never seen. Dropping 3 stacks, now I'm so fresh, so clean. See, we never could have dreams. 05, I'm the Steelers, you the Seahawks. The sweet I keep hitting, making me cough. The Jolly Giant, I'm Jack smoking a beanstalk. I get hoes in both shoes.
These lyrics are incredible. He's on it on this track for sure. Where's this Mac been? On that track, I don't know why, the beat reminded me of Porter Robinson's Worlds. I don't know. It just kind of has that like emotional synthy kind of, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I did like that song quite a bit. It also felt like it could have fit in on Kids. And I think there's a trend here with my feedback. And it's not that I wanted this to be just more Kids or Kids 2.0, but my first exposure being such a high point, I do think that I am just going to be comparing it to the only other thing I know of his. And I think my favorite stuff on this album is the stuff that I feel like kind of meshes with the vibe that he brought on Kids. And the stuff that I'm not loving feels like it would have been very out of place on Kids because it would have just been a lot lower quality. But yeah, these last 2 songs are apparently awesome. So let me give my thoughts on them. You know. Lush.
It's the only way to go.
Yes, the beat is so good already.
Got no problems, my weed got nowhere to go. Pass it to your man, roll another one and keep floating. When it's almost done, why don't you go and break down enough for another one? You can pass that, the kid who rock a snapback. Steady blow this hash back until my thoughts are abstract. We smoke till we can't.
Yeah, this beat feels very elevated compared to most of the album. Also, very Kid Cudi. Really great song. I'm just going to finish the album and then we'll talk about it. Ooh. I love that. This is what I want. Wait, this is a remix?
Cause used to take a bus, now the boy board jets. Cause kids got me busting like a fucking hornet. Life couldn't get better. This gon' be the best day ever.
That was Best Day Ever. And before I share some thoughts, I'm going to show the etching on the D side. And it is Mac. Just an outline of the album cover. Well executed, simple, understated, very cool. Here are my thoughts. So the second to last song, the one with Wiz Khalifa, that to me would have been a good album closer, to be completely honest. It was chill, it was laid back, kind of faded out. Like everyone's saying in the chat right now, the BDE remix at the end would have been an infinitely better opener, because I was disappointed. You guys remember at the beginning of the stream when I was like, that was kind of underwhelming as an opener. If that was the opener with that huge, beautiful buildup, I think it would have set the album on a much different trajectory from the get. To end it with that remix is almost like, this is what you could have had. I felt like that is the sound that should have been pervasive throughout the whole record. And instead you just get a little taste at the end where it's like, well, this is what we're capable of, but you didn't really get a lot of that on the record. Ultimately, there were some very high points. The Sufjan sample in Donald Trump was unbelievably good. I think that Wake Up was probably my favorite track on the record. Just the energy that brought was exactly what I was hoping for. I liked Snooze. I like Keep Floatin'. And obviously the Best Day Ever bonus was great and significantly better than the opening track, Best Day Ever. That being said, I think that this album can best be described as wildly inconsistent. And I think that's unfortunate because I did not feel that way about Kids. There were low points of Kids, but at no point did I think this is way all over the place, song to song. I think I gave it an 8. And like I said now, I think in retrospect, I would probably give Kids an 8.5. I think it's a very impressive project in totality. And this album, someone said it in the chat earlier, and I'm inclined to agree. They said it didn't age well. And I think that because I didn't listen to this album in 2011, and I'm hearing it now in 2024, it didn't age like Kids aged. I feel like, I don't know if it was the choice of the beats, the lack of the kind of nostalgic samples, or just kind of the monotone, repetitive flow and themes that were probably half of the record. It just didn't do it for me. I think that his bass line is good. None of the songs were bad. I think they were just often forgettable, not encouraging me to listen to more of them. So, I think I would just give this a 6 out of 10. It is not the strongest project. It is certainly not the weakest project. But, after Kids, I was very, very excited to hear what he had next. That being said, I know there's a lot of good stuff to come, and I am still very excited for this journey. I think it's important to also remember that he was so young when he made this record. And the fact that he has so much material is very impressive, especially in such a short time span. I will take this moment to again say rest in peace. It's a real shame that we lost Mac the way we did when we did. And I'm excited to continue to explore his discography and continue his legacy in the best way I can with whatever platform I have on here. So this one wasn't a complete home run for me. Next up, like I said, I Love Life. Thank you. Look forward to keep diving into Mac's discography.